The idea was given to you. It's a seed. Your job is to put it in the soil, put it in the ground, put it in the earth, put it where it can begin to sprout. It's not going to do anything in your hand. Hi, I'm Danny, Growth Coach D on all social media platforms, and I am on a mission to create more of what I call abundance ambassadors, of those who are no longer willing to settle for average and ordinary, who are determined to unlock the limitless potential that has always been possible when we operate in the realm of the kingdom, where God said exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask, all we think, all in some versions that we can imagine, according to his power that's at work in us. Would you do me one little favor? Would you like this video? Not for me, just so that the algorithm can put it in front of more people who, like you and I, need to unlock our limitless potential, getting unstuck from our stinking thinking. And if you want to tap into a community of people where that's normal, I'll have those links below. While you're watching the video, let me know in the comments what resonated with you, and I'll see you at the top. Successful people, they're just people. They just do things differently. What's the difference? I learned recently in the morning MindSHIFT meeting about this principle here. Ecclesiastes 11 puts it this way: sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let not your hand be idle, for you don't know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. There's that parable of the talents in the New Testament. To one he has 5 talents, another has 2, another has 1. Those who do something with the thing they've been given, they hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." The one who holds on to it, the idea that's still sitting in your phone, in your notes, in that journal, in your head. What's in your hand, Moses? What's in your hand, David? What's in your hand, little boy, with these 2 small fish and 5 loaves of bread? What's in your hand, widow with the 2 mites? What's in your hand? I'm not as eloquent as so-and-so. My personality isn't as magnetic as such and such. Well, who cares? It's not a competition. Jesus said near the end of the book of John, the disciples are like, "What about him?" And Jesus is like, "What's that?" You must follow me. And until we get to the point where we're following the one who called us, until we get to the point where we're taking the ideas we've been given and we're putting them in the machine, content creation, there's so much that you can share with the world. But what would happen if you chose to take the seed, to take the ideas, to take the vision, to take the dreams and actually do something? Put the video out there, open up your mouth, begin to allow the camera to capture your brilliance, the thing that you know that could alleviate pain in other people's lives. What would happen if we stopped hiding? A city on a hill is not meant to be hidden, and I want to encourage you to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Why am I saying this? Well, because I was the manifestation of it this past weekend. So on Friday, I was in the morning MindSHIFT meeting, and I had this epiphany with my fellow abundance ambassadors, where it's like, hey, you know what? The seed ain't gonna do anything in your hand. You don't know. You know what? Most of it may fall by the path. Some of it may fall by the rocks. Some of it may fall among the weeds. But some of it could fall on good soil. And I had this happen to me this weekend. Actually, today. I made several posts this weekend, one of which I archived because I was like, I just don't think that was my best work. But I left everything else up. And lo and behold, there was a video. I posted as a reel. It was also as a story. Not a like, not a comment, absolutely nothing. But wait, when you go into the stories, there's a like. There's actually somebody pushed several likes. It's a person of influence. It's a person who has a following. It's a person who has a platform. It's a person who's out here doing the thing. How my stuff came in front of them, I still have no idea. What I know is this: I posted it, and this video that amongst my followers had no likes, no comments. This one very influential person saw it. They liked it several times, and as a result, I sent them a DM. And why I'm saying all this is not really for my benefit. It's for you. What is it that you're holding on to? What is it that you can share with the world? What video could you make? What post? What persons could you reach out to? You never know. This one video that the world thinks had no traction. Only 19 people, it says, saw it, but one of those 19, whew, just one. What would happen if just one of those seeds, one of those ideas, just one of those big God ideas was able to take root in some good soil? Let me say it this way. I heard multiple times, different people, I don't know who this is attributed to, but any fool can count the number of seeds in an apple. But only God can count the number of apples in a seed. This one video of mine, while it looks like a failure to the world, it could very well be the portal for limitless possibilities, all because I decided I'm not going to hold on to the seed. What's the point if I'm a farmer of holding on to any seed? I'm going to put it in the ground. I'm going to put it in the system. I'm going to put it in the world. I'm going to put it in the agricultural system where it can produce a harvest. Your ideas can only produce something when they get out of you, when you get unstuck from your stinking thinking, from your doubts, your fears, your limiting thoughts, belief systems. These things are trying to hold you back. They've erected a wall. In this remarkable book called The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkerson, which is all about this little nobody from the land of familiar named Ordinary, who has a big dream, and he decides to pursue that big dream. And everyone in his life doesn't know what in the world he's doing. And as he's leaving the land of familiar, he gets to this barrier. It's a wall. It's a seemingly impenetrable wall, but we learn that it's actually an invisible wall, the invisible wall of fear. That invisible wall keeps so many of us from doing the thing, from making the video, from reaching out to that person or to that organization who we could develop a strategic partnership with and change the world in which we live. My point is this: you never know. You never know. What this should prompt you to do is to stop holding on to the seed. You have a seed. I don't know whether your video is going to be like mine, but what I do know is this: as long as you're holding on to the seed, guess what? It's just like the man who had the one talent. You can't possibly think that you're going to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant," by holding on to the seed, do you? We've got to get to the place where we're willing to let it go. Let go of control. Divorce yourself from the outcome. Focus on the inputs. Post the video. Post it on multiple platforms. Have the conversations. Reach out to the individuals. Most of the seed may not produce any fruit, but if just one does, whoo, all it takes is one. All it takes is one. One seed. Any fool can count the number of seeds in an apple, but only God can count the number of apples in a seed. My brother, my sister, I want to encourage you. I know what it's like to be in a world that makes you feel small. And I want to let you know that you are more than enough. Can I share with you the first part of my book? If so, I'd like for you to go to holdonpainends.net, because every storm eventually runs out of rain. You can't show me one that didn't. And while you're sorting through all of these different thoughts and feelings and emotions that are seemingly holding you back, I want you to know this: you are made in the image of the all-powerful God and creator of the universe. Limitless possibilities exist. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask, all you could think, all you can imagine, according to his power that's working. It's working. It's working. Where is it working? In us. In us. His power isn't working outside there. It wants to work inside here. And it's more than sufficient. God has no limits. There is no lack. And if there's nothing God cannot do, what happens when He combines with you? I want to encourage you, because I had this epiphany, not in isolation. It was in community, because we don't have to struggle through these thoughts, feelings, and emotions alone. Let's grow together. I have some space for creatives who also feel like they need to be releasing something. They need to be doing so. They need to put some seed in the ground. And we are literally changing the world, one offer, one seed planted at a time, one video, one conversation at a time. What looks like failure, what looks like insanity, on the other side, when it's successful, those people, the famous people, the wealthy people, they'll tell you all the same thing. They took a chance on the seed. They said, I'm not going to hold on to this another day. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to give my 2 mites. I'm going to give my 2 fish. I'm going to bring my 5 loaves of bread. I'm going to bring my slingshot. I'm going to bring my rod. I'm going to bring my oil. I'm going to bring this thing that God gave me. Because who knows? Who knows if this seed that you've been given would be able to radically transform other people's lives, all for the glory of Him who was and is to come, who says of you in Psalms 139 that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. God did not make any mistakes with you. You are more than enough. It's time for you to start acting like. What if you started acting like it? What if you started putting seed in the ground like it? What if instead of expecting it to fail, you expected it to succeed? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things that are not seen. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. If you could see it, you wouldn't need faith. Because you can't see it, we can come to Hebrews 11:6, which says, he that cometh unto Him must first believe that He is, that He exists, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. Galatians puts it like this: God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. I double dog dare you to sow some seed in the ground, to put the video out there, to get the ideas out of your head, to come into the space that we have created, where abundance ambassadors like you can come and feel at home, leaving the land of familiar, leaving average, saying, no, I'm allergic to ordinary, and coming to the point where we're like, you know what? I'm not going to leave any opportunity on the table. I'm going to do everything I can to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. I am determined, and nothing is going to stand in my way as I step outside of my comfort zone into the realm of the unknown, where Jesus is, and He's holding out His hand. And like this old song by Casting Crowns says, the waves are calling out my name and they laugh at me, reminding me of all the times I've tried before and failed. The waves, they keep on telling me time and time again, boy, you'll never win. You'll never win. But the voice of truth tells me a different story. The voice of truth says, do not be afraid. The voice of truth says, this is for my glory. Out of all the voices calling out to me, I will stop and listen to the voice of truth. Let God be true and every man be a liar. You, mighty content creator, go read Judges chapter 6. Look at the battle of Gideon with his stinking thinking, and understand in that same chapter, the antidote to his fear was him doing it scared. If you're still afraid, he says in chapter 7, go. Go, he says in chapter 6. Go. You're a mighty warrior, you're a mighty content creator. God has something special just for this people who are waiting on you. Maybe you don't need to be delivered from the Midianites, but you absolutely need to be delivered from the me that ain't right. From the grasshopper thinking, when the Israelites came and the 10 spies commented that we saw the descendants of Anak there, and we looked like grasshoppers in their eyes, and we looked the same to ourselves. Let God be true and every man be a liar. The spirit of Joshua and Caleb is upon me, and I am saying for such a time as this, yes, we can. We are more than able to go up right now. We are more than able to begin making content that speaks to our audience, that speaks to our avatar. We are more than able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask. We are more than able. Our cup is running over. As you turn on that camera, you're going to start to see stuff coming out of you. Like I'm listening to myself right now. As I'm listening to myself right now, more than able, cup running over. The windows of heaven are always open in Malachi chapter 3, pouring out blessing we don't have room enough to receive. Yes, you can. Yes, you will. Yes, you must. Step out of the boat. Get out of your comfort zone. Press through past that invisible wall of fear. It's an invisible wall. Like it's not any inhibition. It's not even inhibiting you. You just got to break through. You got to press through. And this ain't about singing a song, break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. But yes, in actuality, it kind of is. How do you break the chain of doubt? By living in harmony with the spirit of faith. How do you break the chain of limiting thoughts and belief? By practicing what it is that you're saying to yourself. I am strong in the Lord and the power of his might. I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. And there are no limitations other than the ones we allow to be placed upon ourselves. I want to encourage you today. That seed that you have, it's an infant idea. That seed, it's a great book idea. That seed, whether it's a book, whether it's a course, whether it's a speech, whether it's a blog, no matter what it is, it's not meant to be hidden. And I come against the spirit of doubt, of fear. God has not given you that spirit. He's given you the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind, Be not conformed to the pattern of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to approve. Then you'll be able to understand God's good, perfect, and pleasing will for your life. What would happen if we started living life like that? What would happen if we said, we're not sitting here. We're not sitting here in this wine press. Gideon, I know it seems like you're the lowest in your family. I know it seems I only got 10 followers and half of them my cousins and my mama and my daddy. Make the post. Make the post. Make the post. Release the video. Write the blog. Do the thing. Send the DM. Send the email. Go have the conversation. Stop holding on to the seed. God's trying to change your life. And what would happen if you started helping him help you? Years ago, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. There was a poetic idea that came to me, and I wrote it down. I turned it into a song, and it simply goes like this. I am the God of your fathers, the giver of life and every good thing. With a bat of an eye, I can give you more than you ask or can even think. Yet I weigh your request and the faith you possess and see a limit on what I can do. It would be nice to give you what I know that you need, but you've got to seek my face. Doubts and fears you must forsake. My child, is a blessing I long to bestow, but if you don't have faith and believe, how will you know? In my word, you'll find the promise that you can cast all your burdens upon me, and the heavier they weigh upon you, the more blessed you'll be to find relief from guilt and your shame, tribulations, and pain. I'll exchange for joy and peace untold. You know, it would be nice to give you what I know that you need. But when you bring me your cares, you must leave them here. If worry is all that you sow, peace that transcends understanding, how will you know? And it pains me to see you needlessly forfeit what I have for you, when I'm more than able to do what you need me to do. God says it would be nice to give you what I know that you need. I want you to see how my blessings release with obedience, provision will flow. And there's so much more I can show. Oh, how I want you to know it would be nice. And that's what God is saying to you. It would be nice if I could change your life. If you would stop holding on to the seed. It would be nice if I could unleash these limitless possibilities that have always existed and had your name all over them. But you, like the parable of the man with the one talent, you got to be willing to let go. You got to be willing to look a little silly. And it's okay if you verbalize a little bit of doubt like Peter. Lord, we've been out here all night. We've been on Instagram, TikTok. We've been posting videos. We ain't caught nothing. We haven't had any success, but at your word, I'm letting go of this seed. I'm letting go of it in obedience to your word, in obedience to your promise, in obedience to this call that you have over my life. I'm letting go. And I say yes to your will, yes to your way, yes. Every day, I'm not going to hold on to the seed, hide it under a bushel. No. I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. I almost feel like saying the doors of the church are now open. But in all seriousness, I do want to invite you into this space where I had this idea. It's called the Morning MindSHIFT meeting. And it is such a powerful thing. I'm actually recording this video on the 2-year anniversary of this meeting. So many lives have been changed. So many ideas have been birthed. So much greatness has come about as a result of my obedience. And I want to invite you to that space because this isn't about my obedience. It's about yours. This is about God calling you, son, daughter. It's time. It's time for you to stop being the best kept secret. It's time for you to stop wallowing in those disappointments from the past. It's time for you to forget what is behind and press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling that is in Christ Jesus. Press, 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 press. Don't stop. Get it. Press, press. I know it's hard to go through difficult times, but you don't have to go through it anymore. If you learn this one thing, you can grow through it. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Whew. The testimony is the seed. Some of you are holding on to the seed. You're holding on to your story. You're holding on to that testimony. You're holding on to your idea. You're holding on to the lessons that you learned in life. And there are people in this world who would benefit. You're holding on. Why? Why are you holding on? Especially because pain that is not transformed becomes pain that is transmitted. It's time for God to flip that pain. Don't you want him to flip it? Aren't you tired of the old way? The old is gone, a new has come. Behold, I will do a new thing, Isaiah 43. I'm declaring over your life right now, a new thing God said he's going to do in your life right now, a new thing. And no, it's not a magic wand. No, it's not the easy button. No, it's not going to happen right away. This microwave generation has to understand the law of the farm. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. What would happen if you put more seed into the ground? It's the same with sports. With people who play sports, you know that in order to put points on the board, you got to keep shooting. You got to keep swinging. You got to keep kicking. You're not going to win a game without playing some offense. And I don't know who this is for, But you know about the helmet of salvation. You know about the shield of faith. You know about the breastplate of righteousness. All of those are defensive components. But to win, you got to play some offense. Offensively, in that passage, we see something called the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin. How can we win against the devil? He's more powerful than us. Principalities and powers, rulers of spiritual wickedness in the heavenly realms. And Jesus beat him. How did Jesus win? It is written, the word of God. We are to live like our lives depend on it. It is sharper than a double-edged sword. But if it's not in you, it can do nothing for you. I want to call you to what God has called me to do. And that's to begin to hush the other things in life and to pay attention to his word. This year I've been meditating on Psalms chapter 119. His word, the power of his word. His word. It's better to me than gold, than much pure gold. His word, his word. And his word to you today is what he said to Jeremiah in chapter 1. Before I formed you in the mother's womb, I knew you. I appointed you to be a special messenger. It's a special message that you have for the nations. Get the seed out the ground. Get the seed out the ground. Get the seed out of the ground. Sow it in the morning. At evening, let not your hand be idle. For we don't know which will succeed, whether this or whether that, or whether both will do equally well. The blessing that you seek is tied to your obedience. Get that seed out of your hand. And if I can help, if the Abundance Ambassadors, who meet every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm thinking about doing a different cohort to make sure that other people in other time zones can benefit. So if that's you, let me know. But by all means, don't stay stuck in isolation. Do what Gideon did in Judges chapter 6. He did it scared. And that first request that God had of him, he didn't do it alone. He went and he got 10 of his father's servants. And I've got the equivalent to help you get unstuck from your stinking thinking and to begin to position your brilliance, your greatness, your testimony in the marketplace where it can have incredible impact. And that impact can be converted into income that'll transform your life and the lives of everyone around you. I believe God. I believe he wasn't lying. I believe he was telling the truth. I believe that he's just getting started. And I want to encourage you to get that seed out of your hand. Sow it. And you very well can be the catalyst for these infinite blessings that God promised would have your name all over it. Want to join me and get in the room where these ideas are just regular, ordinary, commonplace? Go to morningmindshiftmeeting.com. And it's going to lead you to another page that will connect you with the kinds of people who are operating in the realm of God's limitless abundance. This is God's will for you. Life and life more abundantly. The enemy came to steal, kill, and destroy. But by walking according to his word, by getting this seed out of our hand, we're going to activate God's limitless abundance. Thanks for watching this video. If you have been holding on to some seed and you're committing to let it go, I want to encourage you to take a baby step right now. Go to the comments. Let me know what you're committing to let go of in this season of your life. And as always, the best is yet to come. So hit that subscribe button. And if you know someone else who's been holding on to some seed, would you do me a favor and share this message with that friend so we all can hear, well done, good and faithful servant. Because the promise of life and life more abundantly has your name and theirs all over it.